From the disturbing disappearance of a star in the 70s to a Disney star seemingly vanishing from Hollywood, these are celebrities that disappeared at the height of their career. Fame can be a double-edged sword, with the intense scrutiny and pressures of the public eye often leading to mental health issues and addiction. Unfortunately, some celebrities succumb to these pressures, leading to their sudden and unexplained disappearances. In other scenarios, celebrities have just disappeared for no reason at all, other than to simply escape the life that is offered by being in the spotlight. First up, we have Jim Sullivan. Sullivan was a talented singer-songwriter who released his debut album, UFO, in 1969. The album was a critical success, receiving high praise for its unique blend of rock, country, and folk music. His career was rolling, until suddenly it wasn't. In March of 1975, Sullivan set out on a road trip from Los Angeles to Nashville to promote his second album, Jim Sullivan. He never arrived. After Sullivan's car was found abandoned in the desert, a massive search was launched. No trace of him was ever found. Here we are, over 50 years later, and this remains a mystery. Theories have been anywhere between him deciding to take his life into his own hands to a UFO abduction to something odd happening. All we really know is what his wife said. When talking on the phone before his disappearance, she sensed something was off, asking if something was wrong. He simply responded, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." Maybe one day we'll get to the bottom of this. For now, it remains a mystery. Next up, we have a disappearance that was a little less dark. Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire. Maguire was an absolutely electric actor in the early 2000s, taking the reins as Spider-Man in the classic Marvel story. He also starred in a number of other movies, such as Seabiscuit, Brothers, and The Great Gatsby. Despite his quick rise in Hollywood, it seemed to die just as quickly. Fans have wondered, what happened to Tobey Maguire? Well, you might be surprised to learn that Tobey never really left. Throughout the years, he's found a way to take his career more to the back end of movies, being a part of large productions, such as The Social Network. Even more recently, he played a role in the critically acclaimed film Babylon. It seems like our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is doing all right after all. Next up, another celebrity who vanished without a trace was Dorothy Arnold, a prominent socialite and aspiring actress in the early 1900s. Arnold was known for her beauty and charm, and she had a promising career ahead of her. However, in December 1910, she left her family's New York City home to go shopping and was never seen again. Despite an extensive search and investigation, no evidence of Arnold's whereabouts was ever found. Some have speculated that she may have run away to start a new life, while others believe she may have been the victim of something horrible. Whatever the case, Arnold's disappearance remains one of the most enduring mysteries in American history. Next up, we have a classic child actor who starred in one of the biggest Christmas movies of all time. That's right, Macaulay Culkin. Culkin rose to fame in the 90s as the child star of Home Alone and its sequels. His charming performances earned him legions of fans, but as he grew up, his career took a different turn. Culkin took a hiatus from acting in the early 2000s and later explained that he wanted to have a normal childhood. He returned to the screen with a few supporting roles in indie films, but has mostly stayed out of the public eye in recent years. As for now, Culkin is living quite the life. He is reportedly still with fellow actress Brenda Song, and the two now have 2 kids together. Good for you, Macaulay. Next up, let's talk about yet another child star that seemingly went missing, Amanda Bynes. Bynes was once one of the biggest child stars in the world, hosting her own show with The Amanda Show, as well as being in hit movies such as She's the Man, Big Fat Liar, and much more. But Bynes' career took a sharp turn when she began struggling with mental health issues. She retired from acting in 2010 and made headlines for her erratic behavior and legal troubles. She has since been working on her mental health and is reportedly planning a return to acting. Throughout her adult life, she was pretty much controlled by a conservatorship, much like a fellow star, Britney Spears. Recently, she has been released from that, which makes it possible to see Amanda Bynes' comeback. Let's hope so. Next, we have retired actress Cameron Diaz, or should I say, formerly retired actress. Diaz was a hit actress in the late 90s and early 2000s, with hits like There's Something About Mary, Charlie's Angels, and The Mask. But in 2014, Diaz announced that she was retiring from acting to focus on other projects, including writing and launching a clean wine brand. For a long time, she stayed true to her word, But in 2022, news broke that she would be making a comeback. She will star in an upcoming Netflix film titled Back in Action. Welcome back to the limelight, Cameron. Next, we have possibly the most famous and perplexing disappearance of a celebrity in American history, Agatha Christie, one of the most celebrated mystery writers of all time. In December 1926, Christie disappeared from her home in England, leaving behind her car and belongings. A massive search was launched, involving thousands of volunteers and even Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, the creator of Sherlock Holmes. After 11 days, Christie was found alive but suffering from amnesia in a hotel in Harrogate. Despite extensive speculation and conspiracy theories, the truth behind Christie's disappearance remains unclear to this day. Some believe she staged her disappearance as a publicity stunt, while others think she suffered from a mental breakdown. It's kind of odd that someone who would write the mysteries that she did could disappear like that, but hey, who knows? Next, we come back to more recent history, Dave Chappelle. The comedian and actor who rose to fame with his hit show Chappelle's Show in the early 2000s. In 2005, Chappelle shocked the world by abruptly leaving the show and disappearing from the public eye. Chappelle's departure was a major blow to fans of his show, which had become a cultural phenomenon. At the time, there was much speculation about why he left, with some suggesting that he had suffered a mental breakdown or had a falling out with the show's network Comedy Central. Years later, Chappelle spoke out about his decision to leave the show, citing a combination of creative differences, pressures from the network, and personal issues. He also mentioned feeling uncomfortable with the show's portrayal of African Americans, which he felt was contributing to negative stereotypes. Despite his departure from the show, Chappelle has continued to be a successful comedian, releasing stand-up specials and even hosting his own sketch show, Chappelle's Show, on Netflix. He is still performing, although many people just don't think it's the same. And finally, we have the case of the Disney star Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf was once one of Hollywood's most promising young actors. He shot to fame with his roles in popular franchises like Transformers and Indiana Jones, and starred in the Disney show Even Stevens. But in recent years, LaBeouf has largely disappeared from the public eye, and his absence has left many fans wondering what happened to him. LaBeouf has been open about his struggles with mental health and addiction, which have contributed to his declining public profile. In 2017, LaBeouf was arrested for public drunkenness and disorderly conduct, and later pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge. He also entered rehab for alcohol addiction. LaBeouf's legal troubles continued in 2020 when he was sued by his ex-girlfriend, singer FKA Twigs, for alleged physical and emotional abuse during their relationship. LaBeouf denied the allegations, but later entered rehab again for addiction and psychological issues. Since then, LaBeouf has largely stayed out of the public eye. He has not appeared in any films or TV shows, and has only made a few public appearances, including a virtual table read of Fast Times at Ridgemont High in 2020. Despite his absence, LaBeouf's talent and impact on the industry cannot be denied. Fans continue to support him and hope that he's taking the time he needs to focus on his mental health and well-being. And there you have it. These were celebrities that disappeared at the height of their career.